I got the ARL in the spot.
Johnny boy, what's up, man?
What's going on, Mr. Fitzgibbons? How are you?
Good. How's your week going?
It's going well. It's going well. Welcome back, everybody, to ARL ASIN Review Live, where if you don't give me your ASINs, I'm going to talk about AI, and that's a fun segue into some. Tom, we have some happy news and we have some sad news. Which do you want first?
Let's get the bad news, sad news out of the way.
All right. The bad news is I'm not going to be doing ARLs any longer.
But you're the click-through guru, the king.
I'm passing off the baton.
Who do we got?
I will be coming here and there. However, Joe Foreman's going to take over.
He's going to be perfect.
He's going to do a bang-up job. It's actually my last day here at MAG.
That is not true.
That is not true. I'm just kidding. So I'm moving on to expanding another podcast. So we have Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Johnny Boy is going to be spearheading another podcast on Thursdays. So I'm going to be focusing on Amazon AI Hour, where I'm going to do AI talk and how you can use AI like ChatGPT, Midjourney, all that kind of fun stuff to apply to your Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, Shopify business. The cool thing, Tom, cooler than the other side of the pillow, is that for at least a couple weeks, I'm doing it twice a day on Thursday.
Okay.
So it's going to be noon and it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to get you while you're at work and I'm going to get you after dinner.
That's going to be awesome.
Just so we can see what makes sense. Because then after a couple weeks, maybe the 7 o'clock works, maybe noon works. We'll see. That's starting next week.
Am I able to give a nice little podcast update about myself?
Absolutely not. So next we have
on.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be taking over the weekly Friday Q&As, where you can join every Friday, 12 p.m. EST, ask us any question on Amazon Seller Central, and it's going to be myself and Faith Deniston running the podcast.
I don't know what I'm more impressed and excited about, that news or the fact that dog just opened that door without anyone's help.
She's a smart one.
That dog just opened the door and just scratched once to try and be like, is someone going to open it? And then just open it themselves. So awesome. That's good news. We're mixing it up here, bigger and better things and just kind of expanding. So that's fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get into some hays and hellos, and then we'll get some ASINs. And then I'm on the AI train. I got a lot of good news to talk about with AI. I got even more news to talk about what's going on with Amazon and why your hero image just became 10 times more important. So we'll talk about that in a second too. I don't know if you know about this. Do you know about this?
Possibly. We'll see what you have.
Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. We've got Kevin Hawthorne. Good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin is always, I feel like Kevin's on the payroll. He's just always there at all times and just ready, at the ready. Sham says, hi, ... Hi.
Hello.
Tagaba says, he. Good little Michael Jackson memes out there. Jeffrey, how long? Right into the question, Jeffrey. No nonsense. Cut through the soup. How long does it take to get premium A+ content on a brand new professional seller account? So, Tom, you can answer this because I saw on LinkedIn a lot of jibber jabber, flim flam going on about premium A+. So give us the scoop on that.
Yeah, so they actually just made some changes to the eligibility requirements for premium A+. I think just as of this week, it's really popping off. So you used to have a brand story applied on all of your branded ASINs. That's still the case, but a brand story is a one-for-all content piece. It applies to all of your branded ASINs. Aside from that, you used to have 15 approved A+ content, standard A+ contents within the last 12 months, I think was the time frame. Now they have changed that to be only 5, which is awesome, right? They've heavily lowered that requirement. making it easier to get that eligibility. And now instead of reviewing eligibility for Seller Central accounts, I believe at the end of every month, they have changed it to every Friday. So Jeff, you are able to get premium A+ content as fast as possible, faster than ever before with these recent changes this week. And there's a couple hacks here as well, right? Let's say you only have, we'll say 2 products. You can't launch A+ content on 5 different ASINs in your catalog. John, you know about this? You know what you can do to get around this?
Yeah. So I thought that this was the reason why the news came out where they lowered it from 15 to 5, because people were doing this hack. And that's why I thought that they kind of lowered the requirements.
Possibly.
But you're talking about loading like blank kind of stuff. Is that the idea?
Well, you can essentially just duplicate, like make one A+ content, right? Get it approved, get it applied to one of your listings, and then you can just relaunch and essentially duplicate that same A+ content, apply it to the same ASIN, let it go through the approval, and do that 4 other times after your first one, and you have it within the week, essentially. We just tried this on a seller account like last week, and it worked perfectly.
Even if it's the same item?
Yep. All they need to see is that approved A+ content in the back end.
Because someone was telling me about doing it and getting it approved with something that either was not live yet or was live and nothing was going to it, and you just loaded a white kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get it approved. That's all that matters. Right?
There you go. You heard it right here first. Whatever it takes. Hell or high water, we're getting the premium A+ content. It's funny though, because for me, I talk about merchandising all the time. I talk about all this kind of good stuff. I'll be honest, pal, I'm not a big fan of premium A+ content.
Now, why is that? Because I see the back end when we do this for clients, and we'll sometimes A/B test it. We'll look at the metrics. I want to know why you don't like premium A+ content, or you don't prefer it.
So I have yet to see the data on if premium A+ content converts more sales than regular A+ content or standard A+ content. So I don't know if there's data out there just yet, unless you have it, that shows that when A+ regular standard A+ content is ran, here's the X amount of sales, clicks, impressions, blah, blah, blah. And then if we switch it to premium at the same kind of baseline, here's the increase. So yes, I agree it looks better. Yes, I agree that a lot of people are in the camp of you get to put embedded video. I'm agnostic with that because I don't like video, right? So I don't know about you, Tom, but like when I shop on Amazon, I don't click on video. Do you click on videos in the photo stack?
Myself personally as a customer, not too often, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. That does not mean
you have to have video because a lot of different reasons. So you have to have video because if you don't even have one video, you can't go into the Amazon influencer program where other people could do UGC for your product. So if you don't have a video, you don't get the option to do that. So you have to have something, but if you are saying things in the video that you're not saying in your listing and you're like, oh, people could just see it in the video, they're not going to look there. So you got something, hold on, what do we got?
Yeah, let's take a look at premium A+ content and let's see what you get out of this. So first off, there's always the age-old discussion of how often are people actually scrolling down and looking at A+ content?
Mm-hmm. I call that below the fold.
It is very below the fold. Mm-hmm. So below the fold that you got to get past ads and frequently bought together, the brand story, and then lo and behold, you're finally at your premium A+ content.
Correct.
Now, John, what are some of the differences we see here compared to standard A+ content?
So you're going to have the wider modules,
wider,
space, right? Which is okay, right? It's okay if you know what you're doing, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you just have more space for nonsense, right?
Yeah.
You have the carousel, so you could do a carousel with inside of it. I'm not a big fan of the carousel, and again, I'm in the camp of converting and merchandising, right? Here's why I don't like carousels. Because carousels, if they have information on slide 2 and slide 3, if I don't click on slide 2 or slide 3, I'm not going to see that information, right? So it's a nice idea. It's very Apple 2.0. It's very apple.com. So I think it enhances the look, but I don't believe it's going to increase conversion.
It's hard to know exactly if it's going to increase conversion because I'm sure, as you've talked about previously on this podcast, the top influencing factors there is going to be your price, going to be your main image,
Yes.
and ideally standing out from the competition with high quality reviews above a 4.3 star aggregate. So I like to err on the side of caution here with clients where we should always have premium A plus content when you're eligible, mainly because it gives you that like professional feel, right? It shows yourself as a professional brand, a professional product in the market, aside from looking at a standard A plus content. So yes, it is very Apple 2.0. I like that analogy. I think that's perfect. But this just looks so much cleaner than standard A plus content.
It does. But guess what? Don't throw a video up there for the sake of throwing a video up there in premium A plus content if it's not good. So what I mean by that is don't put wasn't there a video on the Age of Sage listing? Where is it?
There is one on the, not this one. I think there's one on the smudge.
So but my thing is don't put up a video that's a slideshow with horrible elevator music behind it. Don't do that. Because then you're gonna kind of piss off people that are clicked on the video hoping to get more information, and you're going to show them the same information. So click on the Age of Sage video. Just curious. So, Steven, if you're watching, no. Okay, so we went a little bit. It was getting to be just a slideshow, but then something like this. Yes, it's not a slideshow. This is a well thought out video showing you the manufacturing, how it's done, the ingredients, the value prop, all that kind of stuff, right? But again, it's soap. Right. So is someone really watching you have to have it, get it, got it. Is someone really watching video to learn more about how to use soap? No. I bought a Ryobi edger for my lawn, right? That's probably the only video I clicked on. And it wasn't even on Amazon, it was on Home Depot. Only because I wanted it same day delivery. And I watched it because I wanted to make sure that it did what I needed it to do, because it was a very mechanical, operational kind of thing. And it was like $150.
Yep.
Now, if I was buying a shovel, would I click on the video for a shovel? No.
Probably not.
So understand you're going to have different things for different strokes for different folks, but yeah, no. Get it, got it, good. Make sense? Am I crazy?
You are not crazy. Crystal clear to me.
Shazia says, hi. How are you? Tayyip says, hecko. Jeffrey says, can I utilize the term? Jeff, can you say hey? Can you say how are you? How's everything going? You just go right to these questions. We love it. We love answering them. But just I'm doing okay. That's all. Can I utilize the term anti-aging in my A+ content and other parts of my listing? I got to give you my opinion, and then Tommy Boy here is going to tell you what he thinks. I would say, can you could do whatever you want to do. Should you? I would say no. Anti-aging is a very firm thing to say. That's a very broad term that's going to lead you down the rabbit hole of bad reviews. Think of the word anti-aging. We're going to stop you from aging. Again, I think that that's something that is very polarizing and could lead to a little bit more problems. From the back end of Amazon, is that something that Amazon will flag you for, like antimicrobial, antibacterial? That I don't know. But Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, pretty sure. Unsupported claim. And Jeff, I've seen this like in so many ways on different accounts in my time, right? Like, obviously you shouldn't be saying these things on your titles and bullets, but Amazon will take it a step further, and this could result in a potential restricted ASIN, and you got to go through a appeal process, forming a POA to get your product back up. But something like anti-aging, even in the back end of your search terms, even tied to your A+ content, even in the alt text of your A+ content, Amazon could find that. They could restrict your listing from that, right? So definitely one of those terms that I would err on the side of caution of not using, mainly because of the well, look at that.
So they're using anti-aging, but let's just take a look, right? So understanding that there's a lot of things that you could be putting that aren't anti-aging that are more relevant, have better conversion, right? So when we say anti-aging, what are we talking about? We're talking about reducing wrinkles, right? So maybe go that route, right? Or talk more about the product itself. Is it retinol? Is it this or that? So when I go here, right? And then also anti-aging, do you hyphenate it? Do you not hyphenate it? That kind of thing too. So understanding that, what does the product do per se? So here's a good, very good hero image hack that I'm a big fan of, right? 30-day supply. Tom, you know what that's called? Would I coin that phrase?
No.
This is dead pixel real estate, sir.
Yep.
Utilizing dead pixel real estate right at the top. 30-day supply, showing made in America, showing the product itself, showing the ingredients. This is going to get the clicks. Now, this parlays into kind of, Jeff, what I wanted to talk about before, why your hero image is so important. This search term isn't getting it because I don't know if it's based on the search term or the category or whatever it is. But let's say, for example, if I type in supplements, right? Can't spell today. Supplements. Look what we have here. Add to cart on the SERP. So guess what? Now, all of a sudden, your product, your main hero image just got 10 times more important.
Yep.
Because now I'm going to go here and, oh, look, turmeric and ginger. And maybe this is turmeric and ginger, but this one doesn't show me turmeric and ginger, and this one does. Okay, I'm going to buy it. Well, actually, that's interesting because, hold on, wait a second. There's no add to cart under this one. Why is that? That's super weird. But let's say this one, right? Let's say here, turmeric and turmeric, right? Two best sellers, one in turmeric and herbal, one in whatever. Maybe I like the Bio Schwartz more, right? So I'm going to click on that right here. It's cheaper. It's $10 cheaper, right? These guys, what is it? Nature's Nutrition. They're never going to get a chance to tell me from their A+ content, their bullet points, their photo stack. They're never going to get the chance because I already went here and clicked add to cart. So it's super important. Brands like Nature's Bounty, they don't care. This is like a drug box, the drugstore, big box brand that they're not going to care about that. This is most likely wholesale, right? For the most part. But guys that care, right? Look right here. So if I take a look at this, memory and focus, but it's interesting how Amazon is doing this. So in the sponsored, highly rated area, they're not doing the add to cart on the SERP, but in the organic and the sponsored products, what do you call this? This isn't sponsored products. What is this called? Highly rated. Like this section. Is this sponsored?
It is a sponsored section for sure, right? But I think it mostly comes from auto campaigns.
Yeah. So it's interesting how they're not doing the add to cart on the SERP for that, but on the sponsored products within search, they're showing it, and also with the organic stuff, right? So if I'm looking here, right, I just put in supplements. It's going to give very vague things. So if I type in men's multivitamins, right? So now it's going to be all items that are very specific to what I need. So now I'm going to go down here. Interesting. Men's multivitamins are not showing add to cart on the SERP. It's so crazy because I was talking to someone the other day. Judge me not. It was adult diapers. Whatever. They do $500,000 a month on adult diapers. I'm just saying. So going down here, this is add to cart right on the SERP. So when you see here, hey, this guy, is showing he's proud to be wearing it. It's a 56 count. Great. This, that, and the third. Compared to Amazon's, right? Amazon Basics, right? As much as, look, they're beating Amazon, right?
Yeah.
5K a month. This number is not always accurate, Tom, because I've clicked on these things before, and sorry, Depend, I'm going to click on you. You're a big company. You can afford it. It'll say 5K, right? In the last month, 5K plus. But then I look over here, 23,000 on Helium 10. Why do they not bump this up to a 10K plus? Like, what's the deciding factor of that?
One is units, one is sales.
Oh.
This is why I'm here, John. This is why I'm here.
No, that doesn't make sense though. So that means that what 5K sales and this is the units? No.
Vice versa.
So 23,000 sales and 5K units?
Run the X-ray on it.
Oh, crud. Let's see. This one, the keywords? This one. Yeah.
Any minute now. Okay, so let's take a look. I was trying to see if it would give us the actual units sold. I'm not seeing that, but one has to be sales.
But how could you have more sales, but then the number of units is less? That doesn't make sense. You can't have 23 sales and 5,000 units.
Yeah, you can.
How could you have 23,000 sales, but 5,000 units?
I'm imagining that is the sales a dollar amount or is it?
Oh no, this is not a dollar amount. This is units. Is this units or no? This is units. This isn't
Current sales over a 30-day period. I'm seeing that as. Are we crazy
No,
here?
this is units. This isn't dollars. Are you going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
I think you are.
No, because what happens when I see this number as 1? That means the person sold $1? No, this is units.
So then there has to just be different thresholds. Again, that like 5K bought in the past month, that's newer as of maybe 3 to 5 months ago.
But what I'm saying is I've seen if 5K was the max, then I would understand. But I've seen 10K badges. I've seen 15K badges. So you can't go by this, right? Because clearly someone's wrong. Someone's fudging the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So when I see Helium 10 saying 23,000, here's what I think. Is it the variations, right? So is this number coming off of the whole parent? And then this number is only off of, let's say, black and the small medium?
I think you're right here. I think you're 100% right, because even the Helium 10 there shows the variation count as 2. And that's why when you look at an x-ray, you'll see those reviews for all the child ASINs be the same, right? It aggregates that together for the parent. I think that's 100% it.
It's interesting, though. So it's an interesting kind of conversation to have. But anyway, going back to this, it's super important as they start to roll this out. And I feel like they're going to keep this like this because the add to cart on the SERP is a very kind of it's a very Google shopping kind of feel, right? Where if you go to Google and you're like, hey, I want to buy men's multivitamins, right? And again, I don't really know who goes to Google to shop, but whatever. And then you go here, right? You're going to get that same vibe of add to cart or buy now or this kind of stuff, right? So I think that they're making it super easy for people to buy with this kind of test that they're doing. But it just makes it super important for you to pay attention to your hero image. Yeah.
Let me give you my digital marketing background perspective on this.
So I don't want your digital marketing background. I want your Jeff Bezos background.
This hand in hand, synonyms here. So really the basics with advertising, driving traffic to additional places, it all comes down to the least amount of steps and the least amount of clicks to get a customer to purchase. That's exactly what's going on there with the add to cart button being added to Amazon search. Seems like it's just more of a category specific thing right now, John.
Yeah, it's rolling out to a lot of categories, and I'm going to start to keep tabs on it because I know supplements it is. But here's the thing. What happens if it's supplements, right? But it's not in, I don't know. It's interesting because if you type in supplements, it shows up. But men's multivitamins, it doesn't show up. But men's multivitamins is in supplements as a parent category. But is it subcategory? I don't know. Amazon, could you just answer us, please, so we can just help fix this kind of stuff? I'm a fan of it. I like it because it makes people double down more on your hero image. And that is everything I'm about. So let's take a look here. What do we got? Easy stud rack. Tom, they used to call me that in college, Easy stud rack?
I doubt they did, but let's continue.
1,000% did. One of two, I'm working on updating my main image. Can you review these? They're all the same, just different colors and quantity. Hey guys, how you doing today? Life is good, blah, blah, blah. You happy now? Yeah, man, you said one of two, and I don't see the of two, Mr. Easy Stud Rack, but let me pull this up here and take a look. So, the Giants and the Niners. All right. Let's take a look here. Easy Stud Rack. Take a look. Let me click on your sponsored listing. Just kidding. Relax. I'm not going to do it. So going down here, he says, updating my main image. They're all the same, just different colors and quantity. So, okay. Let me go back here. I like to look at it from I have like OCD with this kind of stuff. So main image here, you updated it, and he says all the same, just different colors and quantity. So I like it because Tom, he used to have it where it was just, he sells this piece, right?
Yeah.
The brackets that go into the wood. He didn't show how you use them, right?
Yep.
If we're talking about main hero images, right, and why they're so important, this is super important to have, and you're doing a really good job with it, right? Because you're showing in a very non-specific way, like things are grayed out a little bit or kind of faded. You're showing how it's able to be used and the best practice for it. So I think you're doing a really good job with this. Now, if I go to shelf brackets for wall, right? And again, I'll just kind of, I know that's not specifically what you are, and there's a little learning curve with that versus other stuff, but I want to see before I go down. Tom, do you think it's going to be add to cart on the SERP for this category? What do you think?
Nope.
You don't think so?
No, considering I searched it before you. And
yeah, we call that the wiener thing to do on the podcast. Like that's very anticlimactic and not fun at all. But anyway, so it's important because if they do roll it out in your category, that you do want to have that. And I think you're doing a really good job with this. You do have 32 pack over in the corner. That's like the Amazon kind of branded stuff. I'm not a fan of that. Because I don't always trust that when it says it. I don't know. I've been burnt before where I feel like it's on there, but it's not really.
You know how that's generated though, right, John?
No, tell me.
That's straight from a back end field. So you can see, like, look on the right side of your screen. It's not natively on the image, right? You can't make a main image with that. It's just populated from the back end field when you're actually setting the quantity or the pack size.
Well, you could if you took it, right, and you put a brown box down here and
Correct.
You put 32 pack of, shelf mounts, right, which I'm a big fan of because there's no wording on your hero image about what you are. So you're showing a good job of it, but I would say best practice would be put behind here. What do you ship it in? Do you ship it in a cardboard box? Is it in a white box? Whatever it is, or even better, if you have resale packaging, show that. Show that, and you're never going to have an issue with that. Even though everyone can cry out there and say, no, it gets suppressed. No, Tommy, they're going to suppress my image. Do you know the hack on how to check if they're going to suppress the image or not?
I feel like you're about to teach me something.
No, I was asking generally, do you know? No, I'm kidding. So if you put it through Amazon Experiments and it's accepted in Amazon Experiments, the likelihood of your suppression is a lot less.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is Amazon, like, you'll see so many people do it, and Amazon just can't keep up with it, right? It's bots crawling.
Steven says this all the time, and I say the same thing. If you're assisting in the customer experience, you're good.
Yep.
If you're doing clickbaity, spammy stuff and saying free gift inside, click me, world's best, blah, blah, no. And if you're putting things floating in the ether and they're not anchored down to your packaging, Amazon can't tell you what your packaging looks like. I tell guys that, especially if they're FBM, forget it. Like, I tell people, put whatever you want in the packaging, right? As long as it's not a giftable item where someone's gonna be like, oh man, it didn't come with this packaging that looks all nice and fancy. But if it's a brown box and you're saying very clearly what it is on the outside to get those clicks because you want people to clearly know what it is, do it. You're adding in the experience.
John, how do you feel about like the computer generated aspect of this main image?
You like a rendering, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna harp on it because it's not clear. So because it's not super clear, it means he's able to get away with it. Versus it was a crisp rendering and it was a very up close shot of a drill. Then I'd have a problem with it. But this is for instructional purposes only, and I'm okay with it because it's a lot of smaller components. But typically, if it was one big item, I would have some problems with it.
Yeah, just looking at the search results for that main level keyword, shelf brackets or shelf brackets for wall mount, most of it is that like close up view of one or two brackets, like holding up a shelf.
The thing is, to be fair to his product, because he's been on our podcast a bunch of times.
For sure,
it's not a standard. Like this is a typical shelf bracket.
Yeah,
is an in between stuff. It's a very different thing. So he can get away with it. I'm okay with it. But if he was something like this and he wasn't doing the norm in that space, then there'd be an issue.
Yeah.
Totes my goats or no totes my goats? Totes my goats. Baroninus, I butcher everyone's name and I just keep on going as if I said it correctly and I don't stop.
You have to.
Baroninus, hey. Easy Subject says, I have a video on mine. See, something like your product would need a video because I would click on that because I want to know, what does it do? How am I doing it? So that video is something I would click on. Jeff says, thanks. You guys are great. Oh,
You're great,
Tommy,
Jeff.
He's getting his own show on
Come back Friday.
This Friday?
No, I'm actually not there this Friday. I'm out of town. But next Friday, following Friday.
So next Friday, everything's being shaken up. Interesting. What's Jason? Is Jason going to still pop in here and there or what?
Occasionally, maybe.
Just kick him out.
Sure. He's doing bigger and better things.
Change the password. Don't let him back in. Roughliners. Good afternoon. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I mean, did you know Roughliners is one of our clients?
Yes. Roughliners is a common reoccurring podcaster on the Friday Q&A. Always there.
We'll take clients. Hussein says, hey, hi. Surrender says, hello, everyone. Hello. Hussein says, can you please review this ASIN? How can I improve conversions? All right. Well, yes, nicely. So I'll do it. Let's take a look here. You know, someone told me what DP was the other day, and I had no idea what it was.
Detail page?
Yeah, it was detail page. Something so simple that I had no idea what it was. I was like, what is DP? Like, why that, right? Or like, why is everything start with B0? Do you know that?
No, I don't.
I think Steven put something out there. I don't know. I remember seeing something as to why it's like that, but I don't know. All right, let's take a look. So Diamond Manual Agriculture Sprayer Pump, ISO certified. Why does Helium-10 do this NA sometimes? What does that mean?
Sometimes it's either lack of data, lack of sales if it's a newer product, or it's just glitching. Sometimes I have to refresh it to get it to show up.
We're going to lack in paying our bill if this keeps happening. Helium-10. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this is a pump. Okay, you have packaging back here. One thing I don't like is that your packaging is very faded out. Now, I know I just talked about I like things that are faded out when you don't want it to be very crisp and you kind of want to fly under the radar. You don't want a lot of attention to it. But this is retail packaging. You actually have retail packaging on it, so it needs to be more crisp and clear. So the fact that it's faded out, I don't appreciate. Interesting product. It says, sprayer. It says pressure sprayer. I would be careful with something like that because when you say pressure sprayer, you may get people thinking it's a pressure washer.
Yeah.
So if it is, then that makes sense. And if it's not, then fix that for sure because you don't say pressure up here. So I would say, agricultural sprayer pump, get that over here. Get that over here on the packaging very clearly. Remember, sometimes you'll just have just the SERP with the way that they're testing it, right? So if I go here and kind of let's just test it out. By the way, guys, we're doing 1 hour today because Tommy and I got to hop. But I think that the 60 minutes is good. I think 60 minutes is a concise amount of time. Otherwise, we just roll into me kind of just staring into the wilderness and yeah, so you're not here, so that's good. But if I take a look at your space, right, understanding you're going to have a lot of different options out there, how do you stand out, right? So you're going to have these guys, and for the most part, the lawn care, all this kind of stuff, it's a very big box store, brick and mortar kind of brands, right? So like these guys move 2,000 units, 3,000 units, right? They've been around for a while. They don't always do best practices, so you can't go on that, right? So if they're doing a plain image, you can't do a plain image because you have to stick out. So is this the best practice for sticking out? I don't think so. I think there should be some more merchandising done on the main image. What do you think?
Yeah, even just like brightening up the product. I feel like even that white copy on there, like it looks a little dark to me. I'm not a fan either of like the grayed out or grayed out like product packaging in the background. Yeah. Go back to, let me see the title here. I think it's wasted keyword space when you see something like assembly video and guidelines included, especially in your title. I would probably better utilize that space just doing some keyword research and see what's applicable, what's high search volume to include in your title. More importantly, right, this is the type of product, in my opinion, John, where you should maybe have an instructional video, someone using it, walking through the additional steps.
Yep.
I don't think that steps image even gets you all the way there. It's just kind of, there's no guidance, right? It's just showing hands using it.
Yeah. So before I get to that, leaders, right? So understanding if you're international and you're copying and pasting, make sure it's correct. So is that the right way of doing liters versus ERS for international and domestic? I don't know, right? Whatever best practice is, you want to make sure that you do that. But yeah, totally, right? So one sprayer, many uses, sanitizing what? Gardening what? Horticulture, what does that mean? I thought that was just planting stuff, right? Pesticide application. So you're telling me that I can sanitize water and pesticide all in one? If I'm pesticiding, do I have to have a separate container for when I'm gardening? Like, talk to me about that, right? So common nozzles. So what do the different nozzles do, right? So you say there's common nozzles, 5 types of nozzles. I want to know what all 5 types of them do. This is a very Alibaba kind of image. So I call them Alibaba-esque images where you're just showing what it is. Here's the great thing that you're not talking about. You have a brighter image down here than you do on your main image. So that's not right. But guess what? You have a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, some odd, 10, 12 piece kit, 12 piece set. You're under merchandising what you have. The fact that you have 5 nozzles, even if you don't want to go down the rabbit hole of 12 pieces, 5-piece nozzles included, right? Talk about that here. That's a value prop that you're not talking about. But also talk about why those nozzles are important. Like, what would you use them for? And yeah, this effortless spray activation with locking mechanism. What does that mean? It literally looks like you're just putting like a clamp on top of it, so I don't have to hold my thumb down. Now, if that's what it is, that makes sense. But talk to me about the benefit. This is a feature. That's not the benefit. The benefit is I don't have to stand there with my thumb and get a cramp when I'm watering my tomatoes or pesticides or whatever it is, Coming down here, bullet points. I never really go into bullet points because, like, yeah, you're using them. I don't know if they're the best or not because this is an hour-long show. Coming down here, no A+ content, big miss, right? No A+ content, no brand story module, something like this. Again, if I take a look at your competition, I don't know your direct apples to apples competition. So I'm going to assume, I don't really want to assume, but let me see.
Yeah, Hussein, it looks like you're not brand registered to begin with, looking at your your brand name tied to your listing at the top here. And I would bet Diamond isn't something you can even get trademarked to begin with. I would maybe look into getting a pending trademark for Diamond Sprayer.
Well, right? It looks like the brand is Garden Master. So, well, actually, Diamond Garden Master. So, which is it, right? So, Tom brings up a good point where it's like, okay, what are you? And if your brand is Diamond Sprayer or Garden Master, make it one of those to be kind of anchored there. But yeah, you need that in order to compete, because if I go to like these guys here, and again, I don't know if this is apples to apples what you are, but look, they're talking about the different use cases. They're showing it being used in real life. They're showing the different nozzles. They're showing, hey, it's anti-clog, and what does that mean, and why is it a benefit? And hey, they got a brand story and A+ content, and hey, they're upselling the different sizes and all this kind of good stuff. You need to do this, right? In order to kind of compete with this kind of thing. Does that make sense, Hussein? I'm waiting for value. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, it's Indian Marketplace. That's okay. The listing's still the same. Surendra says, are non-members eligible for ASIN review? That's a great question. We don't have members. I mean, we do have members, but I don't have any members. But hey, I'm not running it after this week, but I would say if you're not following me on LinkedIn or Mag on LinkedIn, then you can't ask me a question. But no, feel free to ask a question. We're happy to review your ASINs. Shazia says, is Amazon A+ content worth your investment?
Yes.
Absolutely not. Don't you dare do it. I don't recommend it unless you want to make sales. Only if you want to make sales is it worth your investment. Fair statement, Tom?
Very fair.
Now, if you can't afford an agency as amazing as ours, what would you do with A+ content?
You're asking me?
No, the guy behind you.
I mean, sheesh, you got to take your best stab at designing what you can. I am not a designer.
What would you do though if you couldn't afford an agency and you were getting started, right? And you knew you wanted A+ content?
Hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork.
You wouldn't even try on Canva yourself?
Knowing my skill set with design, no. But if you're a little more ambitious than me, maybe a little more savvy in terms of design.
Try. Yeah, Shazia, try. I would say try. Here's the thing. Guess what happens? If you try and it sucks, What'd you lose? It didn't cost you anything. Maybe you could say in long term it cost you some sales, but in actuality, right, you're never going to know. You may hit it big, right? You may be in the kind of space where sometimes A+ content is not the determining factor, right? Like I said before, sometimes your category is going to be add to cart right on the SERP, and they might not even get to the A+ content. So I would say, Tom, battle me on this. Hero image is more important than A+ content.
100%.
There you go.
100%.
So, Kazia, the question is your hero image buttoned up first? Then you can talk about A+ content. That's what I would say. I'd want to know more about your hero image. A, with the dog smiling, says, "Hi, can you review my ASIN UK? Any thoughts of it?" You got
here.
B0C, D4, MFF. I think it's cursing at me, calling me MF. 2C. Why is it not coming up? Amazon.
UK.
Yeah, but I type it in Google, so I always thought like it'll just come up anyway. So this is it. This is a, okay. So this is a 10-piece Hair Pro fade comb and parting comb set. Practical and easy to use. Don't tell me that. I'm not searching practical and easy to use. Parting combs, you said that twice, and hair clips. Okay, heat resistant. Okay, well, that's a lot. So you talk about blend fade, right? So this is for fades. Contrary to popular belief, I do go to the barber. I go to the barber to get my beard fixed up and faded and all this kind of. So I used to get faded haircuts. So understanding that we're talking about faded haircuts, and I understand that this brush is for fades, but what's with the clips? Because if I'm getting a fade, I don't have long hair for clips. So I'm a little confused about that, but let's take a look. Product details, alloy springs, very, 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 very Alibaba-esque. So this is super duper, no personalization. Like you got it, a brand generic. What am I expecting, right? So you probably got it from your manufacturer and spit it out here. I do like the us versus them.
Yeah.
In pieces, heat resistant, made in the UK, made in China. Okay. The fact that you're made in the UK and you don't tell me over here and you don't tell me in your title, missed opportunity. Why? Why are you waiting till I get down to here and hoping that I'm going to read all this? Don't tell me premium material and cheap material. Tell me what kind of material, right? Flexible teeth to shape around the head, not flexible. Show me that. When I go down here, oh, I hate this. Oh, man. So actually some execs here at MAG want me to make another channel. I think they must think I have a lot of free time and just make a lot of YouTube kind of shows. But they want me to do roast my ASIN, where I just go out there and just destroy people's ASINs and kind of rip them apart and make fun of them. That's still up in the air if I'm going to do that or not, because I don't want death threats at my house. But if I was, I would say that this is one thing I can't stand.
Yeah.
Satisfaction, 100% guaranteed. More than 100,000 uses, 100,000. What? What does that even mean? Don't tell me 100% guarantee. This is Amazon. You could tell me the world. I know I'm going to get my money back. You could tell me nothing. I'm going to get my money back. So multi-purpose. Okay. This is a bad Photoshop job.
Yeah.
This is not showing your product. Or actually, if it's showing a comb, there's no multi-purpose on
I think that comb is Photoshopped in.
Yeah, but that's not a multi-purpose of this. Now, if you're talking about guys with this kind of hair where you're doing like undercuts, I think there's a value in that, but I think you need to know what you're saying when you're marketing it. Because if you're talking about people getting undercuts, do you know what an undercut is?
No.
Well, undercut is this, which is very clear what's in the picture. Oops, did I click on videos? I don't want to watch videos. Undercut is this, right? Where it's long on the top and short on the sides, right? So that's the style of a cut. So you have to know what you're selling in order to be proficient at it. So if I go here and I type in undercut, nothing's coming up. Now, if I go to, and I'm just going to go to Amazon.com because I don't even know what UK has, right? If I type in undercut hair tools, right? This is what's going to show me, right? So undercut hair tools, how to do undercuts, all this other kind of stuff, right? It's talking very clearly about, cutting your hair accordingly. The value prop in having these clips is to hold long hair up. Talk about that. You're just kind of putting it in there as a throwaway. Now, show a box in the background. Show me that it's not a 10 pack. This is what I'm talking about. I hate Amazon when it says that. when I hear 10 pack, I think of 10 of the same things.
Yeah.
10 pack.
10 of these bundles. Yeah.
Yes, this is not a 10 pack. This is a 10-piece set. It's not a 10
Even
pack.
something like the product on the left, man, it's so, look at the shadows. It's so dark.
Not interesting. So I would say if you have a box here, right? I'm not opposed to doing some quick draw down and dirty Canva work. So if I go to create a design, let's create an Amazon product image. And then I'll paste this bad boy here. Who's calling me? I'm doing a podcast. Leave me alone. Oh, they just stopped calling as soon as I said that. Like it literally just stopped ringing. It's so bizarre. Yeah, they're watching. I'm sorry, John. Take out the background here, right? And then if I go to elements, you'll see that I use these boxes all the time. I don't know why I think of Age of Sage when I see that kind of box, but doing this like this, right? Edit the photo, drop the background out, make this bigger, take this here. This is very basic stuff, Tom. I'm not reinventing the wheel here.
No, you're not.
And like go here, send it backwards. Okay, now it's backwards. Let me move this out of the way. I can put this here, and I could go to this text, and I can type in. I love this cool. I don't know what it's called, but I like this font, right? So I'll go here. I'll type in, undercut hair tools, right? And then I'll say something like this, right? Bear with me. Go with me on this journey. Right? I'll go here. I like to do a little bit of this. I like to do a little sneaky work where I make it a little bit not as bright, right? And then what I'll do is I'll go here. I'll type in the number 10. It's going to bring up all these little graphics and badges. I'll grab something like, I don't know, I'll grab one of these guys, right? 10, and I'll go over here, right? I'm going to do the same thing to this guy. Make him a little not so obvious, right? I'm going to duplicate this bad boy. This is why I'm doing the AI thing. I got to show people how to use these tools, even though this isn't AI, but I want to show people how to use the tools. So I'll go here. I'll type in piece set, right? Make this a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like I got to make this a little bit over here so I can make it centered with this, make a little whammy, right? Okay, hold on. Bear with me. Don't leave me. Okay, something like this, right? Then you can take this, make it a little bit smaller, right? And you're going to be like, oh, John, it's not in the back. Great. Relax. We're going to take the position. We're going to send this to forward, right? And then we're going to take this and move it around accordingly. So right here now, even though it's behind it, guess what? You play with it a little bit. Now I understand this is a 10-piece set. It's an undercut hair tools. And now we're talking more merchandising. You get more clicks or something like this, and you're talking very clearly to what it is. Now, that's just taking the images you have. Would I make the image a little bit better? Yes. Would I take all these how many? 5, 6, 7? I'd fan them apart. I'd make it look a little bit more kind of bundled together, maybe like a pile of them off to the corner. I'd have some hair clippings. I get interesting with it. So that's what I would do. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Do you concur, Doctor?
I concur. I don't think I could have whipped up that main image better myself or faster.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. I sent a link, but I guess doesn't allow it on YouTube. I got it. We showed it. I have new images made. Can I email you the Google Drive images? Yeah, email it. I'm happy to take a look at it offline and send it to you. Roughliner says, John, just launched the XL listing. Was thinking about setting up a one-on-one coaching with you to go through both listings and my brand store. Yes. So no, you don't got to go through it. You don't got to book a coaching call. You're a full service client. You have your brand manager, sir. Don't pay extra when you have your brand. Tom, who's Roughliner's brand manager?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I can look.
Go take a peek while I pull this up. Go take a peek. We're gonna. And then here, so in case anyone else is asking, look at this guy right here. $300, money well spent. You could go here right to our coaching call section on our website. Jason, Big Daddy, big bucks over here, $400+. If you really want to have the scoop, we got Marissa up there. We got Faith, Kristen, Joe Foreman's up there. Oh, we got Johnny there, right? If you want to talk to me about CTR merchandise stuff, I'm all the way at the bottom because they don't love me. I'm not fancy like these directors and all these highfalutin people. They put me at the bottom, so that's okay. But yeah, come here and book a call with any one of us, and we're happy to help you. We have our specialties here. Tommy does some SEO growth, product launch strategy. Oh, you're a product launch guru?
I like to think so.
Oh,
Going through the checklist, what you need to do to set up your listing for success, utilize the honeymoon period.
Brand identity. Joe Foreman's doing brand identity. Faith's doing account strategy. Kristen doing Seller Central. Kristen, isn't she good at Vendor Central too?
She has some experience there.
I think that she should put Vendor Central on there. But yeah, go here. Take a peek skedoodle at what we do. If you need some support, we're there to help. But yeah.
Hey, John, I wanna butt in here. You're talking about AI. You don't see the back end of Amazon so much. I want to show you something I saw earlier this week.
Do it.
Let me share my screen. So, John, how often are you in the back end acting like you're going to create a listing? 0. Okay. You would have never seen this then. Pull up my screen. So I had gone through the workflow of acting like I'm going to set up a new product. Looks like Amazon is trying to use AI to help you generate your title, bullets, product description, very early access. I only just started seeing this, I think, at the end of last week.
Try it. Let's see.
Yeah, give me a product.
Haircut, 10-piece haircut tool set.
Okay, let's try that. Haircut, what'd you say, tool set?
Yeah.
You see what it does?
What'd it do? I didn't see anything. It did nothing yet.
10-piece professional hair cutting scissor set with hair cutting, cape, barber scissors, thinning shears. Huh.
Hold on a second. What does that say? PCS?
Yeah, for like
that is the cringiest thing I could ever see when it comes to a listing. If I see
someone here,
I know, but ugh. All right, let's do something a little bit more. Go back, redo it. Put artisan soap, lavender, and vanilla 4-pack bar.
4-pack bar for women. Give it a little more description.
I think soap is agnostic, but okay. Yeah. Okay, 4-pack. That's terrible. Does Amazon really think that you should lead with 4-pack? Is that what they're saying? How about this? We never said it was made in the USA, by the way.
Interesting.
Go back, edit it, and do this, right? Put the brand name at the end. I want to see where Amazon puts. Go back and edit the prompt before you actually. Yep. Put. Yeah. And it took out the brand name. This is garbage.
Yeah. So I was playing around with this last week. And even if you do, like, watch what happens if you regenerate content here.
Oh my God.
It gets worse and worse.
That's terrible.
So Amazon itself has some work to do on the.
Look, you said women and it added men and teens. That's terrible.
For women, men, and teens.
No.
You can go through and kind of see the previous submissions.
No, the previous garbage. Tom, they call that where I'm from trasheroni and cheese.
Yeah, it's really bad. I thought we'd get a good laugh out of this.
So we got about 8 more minutes left. So let me remove this and let me just show you. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of AI because that's enough, but let me just show you, right, why actual AI is a lot better than that, right? So you can open up a chat here in ChatGPT, right? My custom instructions are off, I think. Yep, they're off. So I can go in here and I could say, I'm not going to yell at you. You are a branding expert for Amazon SEO and listings. I will give you a basic description of my product, and you will give me a keyword SEO rich title that maximizes, I spelled that wrong, all the spaces in an Amazon PDP title, right? Do you understand? Do not generate results yet. Please confirm you understand. You know why I say please? You know why I say
I always find it funny when people say, please do this to the AI.
When the robots enslave us and take over.
You're on their good side.
You're on their good side.
Yeah.
Have you not seen Terminator? I don't need a T-1000 at my house telling me that I demanded soap. It didn't say please. Okay, so please provide the basic description. I will generate here. Okay, great. So give me what we said before. What was exactly what we told Amazon?
Yeah, let me pull that back up. What did we say? Hit edit. Artisan soap, lavender and vanilla.
Huh?
4-pack bar for women.
We put the name brand. We put age of sage, right?
Yeah, do age of sage.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Launch.
Come on, man. Okay, this is good. Write me 3 different versions of the above so I can choose, right? And then I can even say focus more on the benefits of vanilla as the ingredient, right? Because I can say, hey, vanilla is the big thing, whatever. Watch this, right? This is why the nonsense AI is garbage.
Vanilla Fusion.
Vanilla Fusion, handmade bars for women enriched with vanilla's nourishing properties and relaxing aroma. Luxurious handmade soap vanilla blend, 4 bars tailored for women, vanilla infused for skin softening and calming scent. Invigorating formula, artisan crafted. This is the kind of stuff you spend money at agencies and freelancers to do. What Amazon gives you is good enough to kind of, if you still use a printer, you would kind of print that out and then we crumble it up and then throw it over your shoulder like that. So yes, that is, I'm glad you brought that up, Tom. Asmat says, hello, Mag. Hello. Friday question for today. We're running out of time here, Jeff. An SQP report. Listen, it's Wednesday. It's not Friday. We're going to let this slide because you're a green bubble, right? Normally, in the real world, green bubbles aren't good. We want the blue bubbles, right? Green bubbles are often looked at as not iPhone users. We're going to go with this. SQP report. I see search terms that are my product's exact title, brand name, dash descriptive words. Who might this be? Are customers getting the exact title from somewhere else and pasting it in?
Possibly. It's not Amazon taking what's in your title, which it does come into effect, but it's your top search queries that are leading customers to your product. So maybe they already know your brand name and they're searching that. Maybe they're taking certain aspects of your title, which if you're doing proper keyword research and optimization and including top level keywords inside of your title, you're doing the right thing there. And that's going to match with what you're seeing in the search query performance report. So it's not Amazon crawling your listing or your title and giving you data in the SQP report. It's what customers are naturally searching for, which is why it is so important to utilize the SQP report. So are customers getting the exact title from somewhere else and pasting it in? Typically, no, I haven't seen that be many cases inside of the SQP report. It's going to be straight up search queries, giving you each stage of the funnel, your brand share with those search queries, giving you search volume metrics. You can do monthly comparisons, weekly comparisons, and see where you're dropping off. But man, Jeff, join Friday. We could go 30 more minutes on the SQP and how to utilize that.
Word up, Jeff. Listen, guys, we're winding down. I know we're only doing 60 minutes. Maybe Joe in his format will take it for an hour and a half. I'm not sure. We're going to wind it down. We are My Amazon Guy, a full service Amazon agency. We handle everything for your full service needs from Amazon, Walmart. What else do we do? I know Jason sometimes says Etsy. No, Amazon 90%, Walmart, whatever. Tommy will play with some TikTok stuff here and there if you need it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're handling everything. We have our SOPs. If you don't need a full service agency, hop over here, grab the Thanos level powers and empower your own kind of in-house team with the MAG SOPs because they're always growing and they're super awesome. By the way, we're actually running an interesting new promo. Tommy, have you heard about that one?
With our SOPs?
No, not with our SOPs. We're actually, if you tune in tomorrow Tomorrow we're actually going to be doing. Let me remove my thing here. Tomorrow we're actually doing an AMA with Steven, where it's if you're interested in running your own Amazon agency, or if you have an agency and you want to be able to scale it, you're going to want to tune in tomorrow to the AMA, because Steven's going to talk about some really cool stuff where if we're talking about putting our SOPs in your hands, what if we put thousands of leads in your hands as an agency? What if we told you exactly how to run your agency to kind of do all that kind of cool stuff? So anyway, tune in tomorrow. That's cool stuff. Friday, Tom and who is it, Faith?
Not this week. This week it's going to be Marissa.
It's always mixing up. Hopefully next week we get it normal.
Next week we're back in order.
Next week, Marissa on Tuesday. You're going to have Joe on Wednesday for ARL. You're going to have me on Thursday twice. And you're going to have Tommy and Faith on Friday.
Awesome.
That is it. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you again next time. Toodles.